Alright, the purpose of this video is to introduce you to the AMOS environment. So the first thing you want to do is open up AMOS. So I'm going to go into Programs, I'm going to find IBM SPSS Statistics, IBM AMOS, and then open up AMOS Graphics. And that'll be the part of the program that we use moving forward. Now when you open it up, I'm going to open up a new document. You should have a nice plain screen just like you see here. I'm going to introduce you to a few different things. First, we have some of our different modeling options. So you have a rectangle for measured items, a circle for unmeasured or unobserved items. We have this little option that gives us the ability to, in one set of clicks, draw measured, unmeasured, and error items. So we have all in one set of clicks. We have over here in this arrow, we have a direct, or pointing to a direct option, or we have a two-sided arrow over here. This one allows for just a simple adding a unique variance, so an error variance off of a measured item. We can add a title to our chart, and some of these other options I'll show you as we move through. First, this one allows us to select only certain parts, so I can select the circle, and then I can say, I want to erase it. So I take the X, and I can erase that circle. Let's say that I create a series of options, and I would like to move them. I can press Select All, which highlights all of the options. I can pick the little car that will allow me to move it. And let's say I even want to rotate them so they go into different directions. I'm going to use this little rotate button, and I can rotate it to whichever direction I prefer. Then maybe I want to delete them all. Again, I go to my X, and I can click on whichever part of the object I want to delete. So let's say I go through and delete all of these objects, make myself some room. Other options that we have in here. Once you start to create an object, if you don't like the way things look, you can sort of clean them up with the abracadabra, the wand. You just click on it and it will move things around to be a little bit prettier. Moving down here, a few more useful objects in terms of actually getting the data analysis. When we open this file, it's going to allow us, or press that button, it allows us to go find the data that we're going to use. So for instance, I'm going to go find file name, and I'm going to go use this 315p file, and it tells me that I have 300 subjects without missing data in that file, and I press OK, and that's going to tell me what data I can use. Now, when I create my model, what I can do to see all those different variables is click on this button, which will list the names of the variables in that data set. And that's pretty helpful when I create the model. Once I've created the model, I can see which of those variables I've chosen already. This button tells me which models are currently in the model. Since I haven't brought any variables over to this model yet, I don't have any variables there yet. When it's time for me to run my analysis, I have to tell the computer which analysis I'm going to run. So I click the abacus button with the little down here, these different buttons. This basically, we go through the estimation method. We don't typically do anything under numerical or bias. We'll make some different choices under output, depending on if we're in path analysis, confirmatory factor analysis, or structural equation modeling. Sometimes we might use the bootstrap methods. We don't usually do much in permutations or the random number. If you want, you can put a title in that can help you if you're going to run multiple models. Then, when it comes time to run the analysis, the way that we tell the computer, tell AMOS to run them, is we press this calculate estimates or the abacus button. You have your floppy disk for saving. You have copying and pasting. Object properties, this is when we go in and it'll tell us information about each of our different items. You can also just click into them and get the same object properties. Preserve symmetries and drag properties from object to object, I wouldn't say I use very often. We can zoom in on different areas in a model if you want to get a closer look, especially if you have a super complicated model. We can make our model much bigger by using this button. We can add in different loops. Again, not something we do very often in this class. Bayesian methods we don't use in this class because we're using statistics based on Fisherian statistics. We're not going to do multiple groups analysis in this class, so don't worry about that. You can print off your model. You can do some specification searches. This is looking to see if you have everything specified correctly. Again, not something we use too often here. And then later in the semester, when I teach you how to do the SRMR, this is the plugin place you need to go in. So you go to Plugins, SRMR, and it opens up a window, just so you have that information for later. Most of the information you see, most of these pictures, you can also see up here, where we have the interface properties, the analysis properties, and you can see the same icon on the left here that matches the icon that we see down on the left over here. The diagram, again, a lot of the object drawing options are available here, the analysis. So many of the options that you have in this left panel are also available up in the toolbars. So hopefully that becomes a helpful first initial introduction to how to use the program. We'll be examining this further in class and answering any questions. Thank you.